Evelyn, when will you be back home? Come back home immediately.
Hold on, what's going on, Mom? I'm at the supermarket.
I urgently need you back home now. Your grandma keeps calling me to take her for a walk. Could you come back home and do it for me? Hurry up before she pushes her wheelchair out.
But I'm almost at the supermarket. I want to go back, just take her out for a walk and then return for shopping. Can't you handle it yourself? It's not that difficult.
Why should I be the one to do it?
But Grandma wants to go out immediately. Can't you at least help her?
No, why would I do that?
Because she's your mother. Can't you show a bit more kindness and lend her a hand?
I am being kind. She's fortunate to stay in this house instead of going to a nursing home. Don't be selfish. Come back home immediately. Come and take her for a walk. Or are you going to talk back to me?
No, I'm not going to talk back. Please don't get mad.
Remember who brought you up. You shouldn't go against me. Just do as I say.
Yes, you raised me. But now I'm handling all the housework and taking care of Grandma.
But I'm covering the costs of all the meals and everything.
No, you're using Grandma's savings and pension money to pay for it? I know you're not being truthful, Mom.
You're really irritating me. There are things you should and shouldn't say. Learn that, young lady. No dinner for you tonight. Don't even think about taking a bite.
But Mom, I'm the one preparing dinner. That's unfair.
Yes, and you still won't get to eat it because you're being so insolent. You've become quite a stubborn child since you turned 14.
Well, now that I'm old enough to think for myself, I've been realizing how much you've lied to me. And you never help Grandma or me in any way. You just focus on your own matters and don't care about us.
I'm looking after your grandma while you're at school. How could you know that? Can you see how ungrateful you are?
No, you hire a caretaker to come in while I'm at school. You're not truly taking care of her.
And who has to call and arrange for the caretaker to come? It's me. She's yelling at me again. She asked me to take her out. She won't stop. Come back home immediately, Evelyn. I told her to be quiet, but she just kept calling me. So frustrating.
I'm trying to hurry, but I need to get the groceries first. Otherwise, we won't have anything for dinner. I'll be back right after I finish shopping. So can you please help me with that?
Oh, no. It's all right. I just gave her sleeping pills. She will sleep in a matter of minutes.
But she's asking for you to take her out for a walk. Can't you help her?
No, it's fine. Her memory got worse and worse, and she would forget everything. I'm sure she won't even remember this.
How can you say that? Grandma might forget things at times, but she still retains a lot of memories.
What's the issue with using the sleeping pills? Many elderly people use them. I'm sure she'll be fine when you return.
It's better to take her out instead of using sleeping pills, you know. Can't you respect her wishes and assist her?
No, she's fine. Just go get the groceries as you said you would. Such a waste of time and energy.
The next evening. Hey, Mom, are you going to eat dinner at home tonight? I'm trying to figure out how much pasta to cook. I don't know what time you'll be back.
Oh, I won't need dinner. I'll be back around midnight or maybe in the morning.
Okay. I've already given a bath to Grandma. The caretaker helped me, even though it was already time for her to leave. She's really nice. She also shared some advice about Grandma, which I'll tell you later.
You've already heard advice from her, so why bother telling me? I don't need to know any advice.
But she showed me a really helpful way of holding Grandma up. I think you should know too, just in case.
I won't be doing it. It suffices that you know how to do it.
All right. I have a favor to ask you, Mom. Is it okay if I talk to you about it now?
What's up? I won't be able to give you any money if that's what you're going to ask me.
I might need a small amount, but not a significant sum. I promise. This Saturday, I will go on a picnic with my class. My friends are planning to participate, and I'd like to join them. Can you please give me some money for the picnic?
What? No way. Who will take care of your grandmother on Saturday? You're the only one available to look after her, so going out is not an option. Forget about the picnic. You will be staying at home.
It'll only be for a half day, so please. Can I go?
No, you're not allowed to go. You have to stay at home and look after Grandma.
But I really want to hang out with my friends and enjoy some time with them.
You have a responsibility to fulfill. Leaving your grandma alone at home isn't acceptable. Don't you care for your grandma's well-being?
That's why I'm begging you to look after her in my place. Is that too much to ask for a favor? I really enjoy spending time with my friends, and I want to go out with them. I'll return home straight after school every day, and I'll be available to care for Grandma whenever you need to go out, so please, can I go out just this once? I won't request permission to go out again for a long time. So please.
Quit being so stubborn. I already said no. How many times do I have to repeat myself? Plus, I won't be giving you any money for such a wasteful outing, especially when it means leaving your grandma alone. Don't cause trouble just because you want to have fun.
But I'm consistently looking after Grandma. Can't we switch roles once in a while? You can go out with your friends for drinks without asking if I'm okay taking care of Grandma. You can go whenever you want. I'll pay you back when I find a job and start working. So, can I borrow around $30 from you?
No, I won't let you borrow any money. And you're not allowed to get a job until Grandma passes away. She still relies on you. I'm a busy adult. You're just a kid. I need to go out and unwind, releasing the stress that comes with raising you and taking care of your grandma. I don't have as much spare time as you do, so I need my free time more than you do.
Honestly, I feel a lot busier than you are. You never do the housework or take care of Grandma.
Stop irritating me. You've been quite bothersome lately. You need to learn when to stop talking.
I'm simply pointing out that you don't help me with the housework. I'm not trying to annoy you.
You should be grateful that I've raised you this far. I could have placed you in an orphanage, but I didn't. I did my best to raise you on my own. Taking care of your grandmother and helping out around the house is the least you can do in return. By the way, I'd like you to leave the house after Grandma passes away. I don't want to take care of an annoying teenager.
What? You're asking me to leave the house after Grandma dies? Are you serious?
Go out on your own and take care of everything since you say you do it, everything. You're already 14 years old. You can find a job and earn your own money. You could live on your own, right? Since you claim I'm not doing anything, you don't need me anymore.
That's not what I meant. I can't believe you genuinely want me out of the house. You really don't want me around? Is that it?
It's due to your obstinate and self-centered behavior. Who would want to live with such a person? Or do you still feel comfortable living at home, or are you considering independence?
All right, I understand. I'll strive to be more self-reliant. It's not like I was getting any support from you anyways. I manage the household, and I'm aware that Grandma's savings help with our expenses. I feel like we've been drifting apart in our parent-child relationship. I will move out after Grandma passes away to find my own path.
Fantastic! That will be one less worry for me. I've done my best to raise you since your father's death, and I hope you can see that. But it didn't pay off. You've really grown into quite a stubborn and selfish person. It seems like you aren't grateful for anything I've done for you. Don't expect sympathy from me once you decide to leave home.
I won't. I'll never turn to you for help or anything.
So you believe you can manage on your own, huh? Well then, prove it. I'm eager to witness you coming to me in tears, asking for help. You should hope your grandma stays healthy for as long as possible.
2 months later, Grandma passed away. Mom, I tidied up Grandma's room. I threw everything away, just like you told me.
Good. Your work here is finished. Feel free to leave whenever you want. You must be thrilled now. You're free to do whatever you want. You don't have to be stuck with her anymore.
How can you say that? Aren't you grieving for your mother's death?
Of course I am. She was my mother.
But you went out drinking with your friends right after the funeral.
Well, I needed to go out and lift my spirits. You'll understand when you're older and start drinking. That's simply how adults relieve stress.
That's how you are all the time. You love joining the party all the time.
Anyway, have you packed your belongings? Are you prepared to leave the house? Don't tell me you've forgotten the promise you made.
No, I remember. You told me to leave the house as soon as Grandma has passed away.
Yes, exactly. Make sure to leave by the time I return home. Got it? I don't want to see your face or any of your belongings scattered around the house.
Sure. You won't see me here when you come back. Nor will any of my belongings be there.
So you're determined. I'm relieved you're not reneging on your word. I thought I might have to physically escort you from the house if you were going to plead with me to stay.
Yeah, right. As if I had any desire to remain there longer now that the only person I cared for was gone. I won't be relying on you anymore.
So, do you have alternate accommodations? Or are you going to live outdoors? Don't become homeless and burden others. But I suppose it's fine as long as you don't find me to help.
No, I won't be sleeping on the streets. I'm heading to Grandma's.
What? Grandma's house? Have you lost your mind? Or are you struggling to accept her passing? What do you actually plan to do? You're not contemplating ending your life, are you?
No, I'm not.
Or do you mean your grandma from your dad's side? Grandma Laura?
Yes, Mom.
Since when have you been in touch with her? You haven't really met her before, have you?
Several months ago, when I entered high school, she sent me a letter congratulating me on my fresh start. It turns out she attempted to send me letters several times before, but you consistently discarded them before I could read them. However, you stopped handling things around the house, so you didn't even notice when I received a letter from her. I've been in contact with her since then.
So that's your plan. No wonder you didn't seem to worry about moving out. In the end, you're relying on someone.
I'm still underage. I'm not supposed to live on my own yet. I don't think there's anything wrong with depending on someone.
Yeah, sure. You're just a brat opposing me, but you're still a baby who needs to be looked after.
I don't want to see you ever again. So please, don't assume you'll ever see me again.
Oh, do you know get all lonely and end up wanting to see you? That's not going to happen, so don't worry. I won't miss you at all. I won't be responsible for taking care of my mother or you anymore. This is incredible. I'm finally liberated.
I'm glad you see it that way. I was worried you might reconsider and request me to stay. Goodbye, Mom. The next month.
Ellen, what's happening? How come you're getting the entire inheritance and there's nothing left for me?
Mom, I explicitly told you not to reach out to me again. Why are you messaging me?
I don't care about what you told me. Hand over all the inheritance you received. I'm her daughter. I must receive all her inheritance. Not you.
Did you consult a lawyer about this first? Grandma stated in her will that she left the inheritance to me, not you.
But I'm her daughter. I have the right to receive the inheritance, even if it's not mentioned in the will.
She specifically didn't want to leave anything to you. That's what she wrote in her will, and that's why you're not getting anything.
When did she write that anyway? I had her draft the will with me. She clearly stated that she was leaving everything to me.
No, Mom. Then she decided to rewrite it with me because she was disappointed and fed up with you. You got angry with her when she asked for favors.
Who would believe that you helped her write her will? The will I helped her draft is legal. Yours is not.
I had a lawyer present to assist in drafting the will. This will is valid. Yours is now deemed invalid. The caretaker also testified that you treated her badly. Her statements serve as evidence. Therefore, you should give up any claim to the inheritance.
You knew exactly that you were entitled to the inheritance. That's why you didn't object when I asked you to vacate the house. You cunning manipulator. How dare you betray the parent who raised you?
You told me to leave, so I agreed. Actually, I wasn't aware of inheriting everything at that time. She wrote the will sometime later.
You manipulated her into writing the will to ensure you received the entire inheritance, didn't you?
No, all I did was contact the lawyer when you weren't around so she could write a new will. Grandma anticipated that you would mistreat me even more if she died. She expressed concern about my well-being after her death and left everything she had for me.
That woman!
It just demonstrates how poorly you treated us. You should have treated us with more kindness.
You're terrible. You're an awful child. I should have just sent you to an orphanage if I had known you would turn out like this. You're so ungrateful.
Who's being ungrateful? You or me? After everything you did to your mother, you used up Grandma's savings and pension, yet failed to care for her. Instead, you neglected her and uttered hurtful words. Your initial kindness faded as her memory worsened, and you began talking about placing her in a nursing home.
Return home immediately. I'm still your parent. I have custody over you.
How come? You want me to return, don't you?
You shouldn't be living apart from your mother.
But you kicked me out of the house, Mom. Now you want me to return? What made you change your mind?
Well, the situation has changed. You're still a minor, and it's my responsibility to take care of you.
You will deceive me again. I'm not coming back to your house. Just be aware that you might face consequences with the police. I've already spoken to a child protection social worker. I disclosed everything about your actions towards me. They'll be reaching out to you soon regarding allegations of child abuse and neglect.
What? You reported to a social worker? I can't believe you did that.
I wish I didn't have to take these steps, Mom. I wish I had a decent mother who loves and treats me well. But I had to do this to safeguard myself and my other grandma. You forced me to shoulder the majority of Grandma's care. When the caretaker was unavailable, you insisted I skip school to look after her, and all the household chores were thrust upon me as well. You wouldn't even allow me to hang out with my friends while you enjoyed parties almost every night.
So what? I deserve to have a break. I've faced numerous challenges, and I need a way to de-stress. What do you have to stress about? You're just a child with no genuine responsibilities.
You no longer have the right to claim the role of my parent. You forced me to do everything independently since I was 10 years old. Grocery shopping, preparing meals, and cleaning the house. As I entered high school, you assigned me the responsibility of caring for Grandma. However, you failed to fulfill your parental duties, so I have no intention of returning to you. It is obvious that your true motivation lies in securing the inheritance, not in genuinely wanting me back.
Listen, Evelyn, life became challenging after your dad's passing. Raising you was difficult for me. Then your grandmother started getting sick, so I had to take care of her too. I must find a job instead of being a housewife, all while juggling the responsibilities of caring for you and managing our household. This was too much for me to handle at once.
That's the reason she was initially meant to go to the nursing home. But you refused to let her leave so you could take advantage of her money. I now have supportive grandparents on Dad's side who treat me with kindness. I've come to realize that this is the way I should have been treated. I'm satisfied to be in this better place. However, there's also a deep sadness for my past, and I can't help but wish for a better mother.
However, they haven't been in your life. Do you claim they're better, even though they were absent all this time?
Yes, they are better, especially since their absence was a result of you preventing them from contacting me. I have no intention of ever talking to or seeing. That's how strongly I feel, especially after spending time with my grandparents. You can't understand the loneliness I experienced while single-handedly caring for Grandma with no support from you.
But you were able to live without being hungry. You lived comfortably with a roof over your head.
Yes, I remember it was with Grandma's money. I can't even recall the last time you went to work. You spend all the time drinking with your friends and having a party for no reason.
Evelyn, I want to become your mother again. I will not allow you to suffer in life any longer. So, please, give me another chance.
You've remained unchanged, despite my repeated attempts to make you change. How can I trust that this time will be any different?
Hey, I want you to understand that, even during the toughest moments, I refrained from sending you to an orphanage. Can't you see that I gave everything I could?
No, I'm not coming back. I won't forget that you once told me to leave. You told me that you felt free without me, and now I share the same sentiment. Goodbye, Mom. Live your own life as you wish. Unfortunately, my mom had exhausted most of Grandma's savings without additional funds in a separate account. She was left in financial distress and urgently seeking employment. Despite her attempts to reach out and share her struggles with rent, I redirected her to my social worker and blocked contact with her. Meanwhile, I live comfortably with my paternal grandparents. I was warmly embraced by them. Now, I attend school regularly and have the opportunity to spend time with friends. Thanks to the inheritance left by Grandma, I can afford university once I graduate from high school. Going forward, I'm determined to live life on my terms.
Hey, Emily. Have you found a place to stay yet? Or are you still at your parents'? I'm just asking because I'm going to take Roy to see his parents next week. I was hoping you'd be out when we arrived, so there wouldn't be any awkwardness. Why haven't you found a place yet? Parents are not comfortable when you are still there.
I know. I'll leave as soon as I can, but it won't be easy. And I'm still stuck in the trouble that happened.
What do you mean? What trouble happened?
Well, the trouble is my little sister stole my fiancé. Or all the terrible things you accused me of doing to make me look bad and justify what you did. I'm just still in shock about everything.
Please, let's get over it. You are being treated like a villain because you are the villain here. Only people who know they have done wrong will complain about being unjustly accused.
That doesn't make any sense, Mila. What are you talking about?
I'm absolutely correct. I didn't force Roy to fall in love with me. It just happened. What can I do? You're too bad for him and always nag about responsibilities and other boring things. No wonder he doesn't really want to marry you.
Of course it's all your fault. You can fool others, but of all people you cannot fool me. You fell down the stairs yourself and then told everyone I pushed you. Although I was not near you at that time.
All I do is tell the truth. I sprained my ankle very badly that fall. It's heartless when you don't care at all.
Of course I care, but it was your carelessness that brought you down. And then you took advantage of the fact that there was no one around to blame me. I don't understand how my parents can believe such an obvious lie. And somehow, you were able to use it to turn me into a horrible person and take Roy away from me.
I'm not. Roy was mine by then. He loves me, so of course he's on my side. Is there something else you need me to explain to you? Looks like you have no one left to be with. You better disappear now, okay?
Trust me, I understand that. No one is willing to see the real you. What do you know? I'm so tired of this. I dragged my feet as I moved because I was hoping someone would wake up and realize what was going on. But I guess that won't happen. I'm going out of the house today. I can't handle any of your...
Very good.
You made it perfectly clear. There's not a single person I can rely on in my own family. No one can see the truth, even if it is right in front of them.
Sorry? That is rude. You pushed me down the stairs. They only treat you that way because you deserve it.
You can say whatever you want at this point. I'm leaving soon, so nothing you can say is important to me anymore. Say whatever your crazy mind comes up with. I'm packing up my things right now, so leave me alone.
2 hours later.
Hey, have you gone?
I made an appointment with an apartment manager to view an apartment.
Okay, good. Then you should go out early. It won't take long to clean up, right? It's not like you have anything of value to pack.
I packed everything I needed to bring, thanks to someone sneaking into my room and stealing a bunch of my stuff.
What? I'm not. I didn't steal anything. I just took what you said I could have. It's your fault for buying clothes and things that don't suit you. I am much more beautiful than you, so it makes sense for me to take it all from you.
I said someone stole from me. I have never accused you of anything.
Oh!
Thanks for the confirmation, though. I doubt it will change anything, but at least I have proof of your theft.
Oh my God, you are so annoying. You just need to leave.
I'm leaving now.
Good. I'm glad I don't have to deal with you anymore. In the end, nothing stood in my way.
Oh, one more thing, Mila. Roy has blocked my number, so I need you to text me.
What? What?
If he doesn't retrieve $1,000 he borrowed from me by the end of the month, I'll take him to court for it.
What? What, $3,000?
He already knows how to give me money, so if you can send him that text, that would be great. Think. If he has any questions, he can send them through you or unblock me on Wonder.
Ridiculous. Why did he borrow your money? He works at a big company and earns a lot of money. You barely make a living. There's no way this is true. You're making up stories because you don't want to let him go.
I'm not, and I can prove it. I have a written promise from him to return it.
Yeah, whatever. You have nothing.
Look, I really don't care if you believe me or not. Just give him a message, okay? I'm sure he'll tell you why he borrowed money from me if you ask him.
I didn't tell him anything. Stop here. This is not a funny joke. It just makes you look desperate.
Whatever. It's up to you. I'm leaving now. I really hope I never have to go back. Bye, Mila.
Several months later.
Amity, guess? I have some great news. Roy proposed to me. Replied my message. You don't have to ignore me. It's so romantic, he proposed while we were walking together on the beach. The sun is setting, and it's perfect. It was the sweetest thing ever.
Oh, congratulations.
We started talking about the wedding. We are planning with a budget of about $50,000, perhaps a little more when all is said and done.
Really? I think you won't get that hope. That's a lot of money.
Please, you are just jealous.
No, I just know that he doesn't have that much money, and neither does our family.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. Stop being such a demeaning person. I know what your negative attitude really is. Who cares that he had to borrow some money from you before? Now that is over, and his financial situation is very different from then. Besides, he told me that he returned your money a few days after I sent him your message.
All right. Well, I appreciate that you sent the message.
He told me that at first he only had to borrow from you because of some unexpected expenses. You are ruthless trying to get that money back. It just reveals how selfish you really are when you do such things.
That is absolutely not what happened. Look, Mila, all I wanted was a clean breakup between you and me, and I almost got it. I don't understand why you feel the need to brag to me about how happy you two are. You won. Leave me alone.
I apologize for assuming you wanted time to prepare for the wedding. I guess you love being blindsided by wedding invitations.
Are you serious right now? After all that's happened, I think I'll be the last person you want to invite to your wedding.
Of course I want you there. We are family. I'm not trying to brag about anything. I just wanted to share the news with my sister. I didn't want any drama if you found out from someone else, so I thought I'd tell you myself.
I wouldn't have started any drama regardless of how I found out. I told you, I just want to move on and heal after all this.
Okay, fine. Let's do it that way.
Do you need anything else?
Well, I guess not.
I have to go back to work.
God, really? Today is Saturday. Why are you working? Are you so poor that you have to do a side job or something? No wonder you asked Roy to give you that money.
I changed careers and entered the hospitality industry. Weekend is just another day for me now.
Oh, I didn't know you changed careers.
Thanks to you, I'm actually making quite a bit of money now. The salary here is higher than where I worked before, and I don't have to pay anything to my parents or help Roy anymore.
What do you mean, thank me?
Isn't it obvious? If you hadn't betrayed me, I wouldn't be here as I am now. I don't think there's anything else to do or say at this point. Goodbye.
Several months later.
How many? Reply to my messages now. I need you.
What do you want? I can't really talk. I'm at work right now.
Are you ready to congratulate me?
Congratulations? For what? Is your wedding coming up? I congratulated you for that?
Yes, it's next Sunday. You congratulated me when I told you that Roy proposed, but I wanted to talk to you about the wedding gift you gave us. We're sisters, so $50,000 would be the right amount to give us, I think.
I'm sorry, what now? Are you seriously asking me to give you $50,000? Have you lost your mind?
You are my big sister. You should want to help me in any way you can. You can't put a price tag on how much sisters mean to each other.
Well, I don't even know where to start with all that. But I think I know what's going on here. You finally realize the financial situation you're in, right? You can't afford the big, expensive wedding you want, so you expect someone else to give you cash.
No, it's not like that.
You went bankrupt. Let's admit it.
It's not true. I have a little money.
No. You refuse to do anything other than a part-time job so you don't make much money. And what you earn, you'd rather spend on useless things and hang out than try to save. On top of that, your parents probably still give you pocket money whenever you ask for it. Although they really don't have the ability to do that. So you have no reason to try to save any money, right? And sure, Roy works for a big company, so you might think you can rely on him for money. But he's only a temporary employee. That won't last forever.
How do you know that?
Because I was engaged to him first. There's nothing about him that I don't know yet. I'm going to go out and say you've just discovered that temporary employees earn much less than permanent employees. That's why you suddenly asked for money before the wedding day. The reason he had to borrow money from me in the past was because he was temporarily laid off when the company downsized. He needs help just to make ends meet until he gets his next temporary job. I didn't expect him to be able to pay me off immediately after I told you about the debt. I wonder where he borrowed the money to do that.
He said he has money and he just forgot to give it back to you until I say something.
Sure he did. Back to people giving you money to pay for your wedding. You went into this with the assumption that he would pay for everything. But he got the impression that our parents would pay for the wedding because they tried to pretend they had money even though they didn't really. That's the way it is, isn't it?
Yes, but it's not my fault. I didn't know that Roy was just a temporary employee. I think he has a really good salary as a full-time employee, so I never doubted that he would be able to take the job. You're more to blame than me. Why didn't you tell me if you know he doesn't earn that much? I had no idea. I feel so lied.
I told you about it when I got engaged to him. And you and I have some mutual friends, so I'm sure they mentioned it at some point. No one tries to hide it from you. You just don't want to hear about it because it's inconvenient. I know I mentioned that to my parents, and I'm pretty sure you were there too. I told you we decided not to get married until he was offered a full-time job. But I guess you didn't listen because you planned to stab me in the back.
You should still tell me. I don't care if he chooses me over you. How can he let me think he has a well-paying job when he doesn't? That's basically like me being scammed? I didn't know I was with someone so poor he couldn't even afford a decent wedding.
You are a mature woman. Do you really need your sister to treat you like a baby and tell you every little thing? Neither Roy nor I have ever kept the status of our jobs a secret. If you really don't know, it's because you weren't paying attention.
You were trying to blame me. Why do you think like that?
If the two of you haven't had a conversation about this before, it's your problem. Not me, not my parents, no one. Only you. And you're the one who took him away from me in the first place. Anything that involves Roy becomes your problem when you do it. At that point, his problem is no longer my responsibility.
That doesn't change anything.
And on top of that, you accuse me of pushing you downstairs and making me a criminal. I was forced to move out because of you. There's no point in trying to put the blame on me. This is 100% your fault.
No, that's not it. You are also at fault.
In case it's not clear enough, I won't give you any money. Not for your wedding or any other reason.
No. Amity, please. I'm your sister. You should help me.
Even if I wanted to, I don't have that much money to throw around.
Please, I will do anything. If we cannot pay by Sunday, the wedding will have to be canceled. We've invited a lot of people already. It would be a shame to have to cancel at the last minute. Besides, I don't even have enough money for the cancellation fee if it gets to that point. We have nothing. Please help me even just once. You'll never have to hear from me again if you don't want to. If you help me, I will be a better sister. I promise. I will always be here for you. Please, Amity.
After that, Mila kept calling me and texting me afterwards. She even made our parents and Roy do the same. Mila argues that I shouldn't hold a grudge against her and should help her with the wedding expenses. Roy suggested we get back together, but then he had the audacity to ask me for money during a conversation. My parents asked me to come back home. But again, they also ask for money, so I don't believe they are really sincere. Since I switched to work in the hotel industry, it is true that I am making more money, but I still don't earn enough to pay Mila what she asked for, even if I wanted to. In the end, I had to change my phone number because they wouldn't stop harassing me for money. A friend of mine, who is also a friend of Roy's, told me that he had cut ties with his family when they found out what had happened. They don't like the idea of him trying to extort money from someone through marriage. In the end, I'm glad I didn't marry him and ended up having to rely on him for the rest of my life. I heard that they can only pay half of the wedding cancellation fee. My parents ended up selling their house for almost nothing. They couldn't do anything anymore. My parents and my sister moved in together in an apartment, but they argued almost every day. The neighbors are constantly complaining about them, so it isn't likely that they will be forced to move out again.
How's everything going, Elisa? It's been quite a while since our last chat.
Hello, Christine. It's been some time. We are doing well. How about you? We should stay in touch more often.
I agree, Elisa. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. By the way, there's something I wanted to talk with you.
Sure.
That's great. It's been ages since we've had a conversation like this.
I think it was 2 years ago. I've been back home a couple of times since then, but it's usually just short trips for work. My schedule has been quite hectic.
That's life. Nevertheless, we can still stay in touch through texts. As for me, it's been pretty chaotic. My mother-in-law's health suddenly deteriorated, and she's been hospitalized for a while.
I'm really sorry to hear that, Christine. I genuinely hope she makes a full recovery.
Thank you.
Have you had a conversation with Oliver recently?
Not really. That's not uncommon in our family. We're all pretty bad at staying in touch. Even my mom is hard to reach. She doesn't answer my calls or respond to my messages.
That's just like her, haha. We've tried to show her how to use the phone many times, but it doesn't work with her.
There's no will among us. We just aren't close. That's how it is. Nonetheless, I'm happy to hear that everyone is doing fine.
True, some families are just like that. Everyone is different, and there's no harm in it. You mentioned that there was something you wanted to tell me. Did something happen?
My husband would prefer if I kept in touch with my family altogether. I've tried messaging Oliver, but it doesn't work. So I thought you might be my best option.
I understand, and I'm happy to chat and catch you up on everything. Oliver might respond if you reached out to him, but I can't say that for sure.
I've sent several messages, but he has yet to reply. It makes me think he's not interested, no offense.
He does the same thing with me at times. He gets busy with work and forgets to respond later in the day.
I see. Anyway, how are things going for you in Germany? Have you adapted well?
The transition has been quite the journey, but we've now fully adapted to our new surroundings. That first year was quite challenging, but now we have more friends there. We are also gradually getting used to the culture here.
Indeed, it's still surprising that Oliver accepted that job offer. Moreover, he's fortunate to have a supportive wife who was willing to make such a significant move. That's an important decision for anyone.
I hadn't originally planned on living away from home indefinitely. However, living in Germany for a period made me change my mind. We discussed it extensively before accepting the job, viewing it as the perfect opportunity to experience something distinctive.
You're so confident, Lissa. I don't think I could last more than a month in such a situation. How about your work there? Is it too heavy for you?
Well, I didn't have many options. I was accepted to work at a hotel near my home. Luckily, Oliver has a good job, which helped lighten the load in the early stages.
It's been a challenging journey, but you guys are true go-getters. How about the food? Does it suit your taste?
Absolutely. The food is quite tasty. I can easily buy local food in supermarkets.
How's your apartment?
We got lucky with our apartment. Oliver's company helps cover their employees' rent because housing costs have been increasing significantly.
That's fantastic! How about the salary?
Yeah, we're pretty comfortable, I'd say.
I can imagine. Especially with both of you working, you must be doing quite well financially.
Fortunately, we're doing well for ourselves.
I was just curious how things were going for you.
We're doing well. Thanks for asking.
We should talk more often. It's nice to stay in touch.
Agreed. Feel free to reach out anytime. I'll make sure to ignore your texts. Ha ha! 2 weeks later.
Hi, Elia. I can't call either you or Oliver.
Oliver is on a business trip, and I am at work. What's wrong, Christine?
Our mother had a fall while going for a walk, and unfortunately, she hit her head on the way down.
Oh, really? Where is she now?
She has been unconscious since the fall and is in the emergency room right now.
That's terrible. How did the doctor say?
The doctor said she would survive. Luckily, she was taken to the hospital in time.
Thank God! I'll inform Oliver, and we'll sort out our work to head home as soon as possible.
Wait a moment. Let's not rush into anything just yet. Mom is currently quite vulnerable. I think it's better to avoid getting exposed to her.
I understand that concern.
Moreover, the hospital usually limits visitors to the intensive care unit. Even if you were to fly home, you probably wouldn't be able to see her. Unfortunately, there's not much you guys can do for her right now. I'll keep an eye on her, though.
I see. Better safe than sorry, I suppose.
I'm sure she wouldn't want Oliver to see her in this condition. You know her. She must be feeling quite embarrassed. Don't worry too much, Elisa. If there are any changes, I'll inform you promptly.
That's true. Thank you. I'm grateful for it. I'm sorry that you're dealing with this on your own. This is the tough part of being far from home.
I'm confident she'll recover soon, and you can visit her then. I'm sorry this situation is difficult for all of us.
I wish I could be there to assist you. I know this must be difficult, but I can only ask you to take care of our mother. If there's anything we can do to help, please don't hesitate to ask.
No need to worry. I'll let my mom alone during her difficult times. I can control everything, so please don't worry.
I understand. We're relying on you. The next day.
Elisa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I need your help in this situation. I cannot decide things on my own. Our mother's medical bills will be costly. Can you help with the money?
Absolutely. That's all we can help.
Thank you. That is a great relief to me at this time. Furthermore, depending on how long she's in the hospital, I might need to hire a nurse to watch over her. I also have to go to work. I'll ask you Oliver about this matter. The cost will be expensive. If you would give even a small amount, it would make things much easier for us.
Don't worry about it. Just tell us how much it costs. We will support you as best we can.
That's great. This is a significant help, Alyssa.
Do you know how much it costs to hire a nurse to take care of our mom?
If you could provide $1,000 a month, that should cover a good portion of it.
Got that, Christine. If you need other assistance, just tell us. We're willing to assist. We don't want you to handle everything on your own.
Knowing that really eases my mind. Honestly, I've been pretty rattled over here.
That's understandable. We usually think our parents are doing well until an accident happens unexpectedly. I'm really sorry that I can't help you more.
Don't blame yourself anymore. Accidents can happen. It's just hard to believe this happened to our mom, of all people.
I know. It isn't very comforting. We're here to support you.
This situation has made me realize that I don't talk to my mom enough. I wish we were closer. I wish I had tried harder.
2 months later.
I'm sorry to keep bothering you, Elisa. I've got another favor to ask.
Okay. What's that, Christine?
Can you give a little more money to support my mom? Her bills are getting higher. It's surprising how expensive things are now.
What happened? Did you find a nurse to help?
I hired a nurse who works here. But I think it's a good idea to get a private nurse to give our mom more personalized care.
Who needs all this care?
Of course, my mom. Why are you asking so strangely?
Your mom is living with us at the moment. She's fine and does not need any special care.
Huh? What are you saying? There's no way she can take a flight in with her current state.
Why do you think that?
She's not well enough to travel on an airplane.
In fact, she did it. She was totally fine traveling by air. And I found her earlier today, standing outside our house.
What? Is she staying with you in Berlin?
That's right. It surprised me because she was hospitalized. And now she appeared at my house. I asked her about it, but she doesn't remember it happening. That's odd, right?
How did she know your address? It's quite surprising.
She flew with a friend to Europe and came to visit us. But the real reason for her trip was to surprise us and visit her grandchild. She did a great job keeping it a secret.
But how was she doing this? The doctor told her to stay in bed and not leave yet.
We didn't prepare anything for her visit, so it's been quite chaotic. But the important thing is we found out you've been lying to us all along. Can you explain this situation? What have you been spending our money on?
Oh, some things have been happening.
Things? What kind of things need such a lot of money to fix? And you've even asked for more.
It was an emergency, all right? I didn't have any other choice. In fact, I plan to tell you the truth eventually. I just needed to get through a really tough time.
If you'd been honest from the beginning, might have helped you. Is that why you suddenly messaged me out of the blue? You never really cared about staying in touch. You just wanted money. No wonder your family doesn't talk to you much. I should realize something was fishy when you kept asking about our finances.
I'm in serious trouble right now. That money was essential for me to get through this tough time.
What trouble?
We accrued some debt, and now we can't afford to pay for it.
What? Did your husband earn a lot of money? Not to mention you also have a job? If so, money shouldn't be an issue.
I spent too much money on my credit cards accidentally. I didn't realize we couldn't afford it.
What did you spend your money on?
Just essential stuff, like clothes and cosmetics.
You went shopping so much that you ended up in debt. That's unbelievable. You bought nothing essential. It's really just you who caused this, not we. You got non-essential things that you wanted. And now you cheat us for money? You should take responsibility for this by yourself.
I tried. I've cut down expenses, but it's still insufficient to pay off the debts. I was exhausted and need to take a rest. The extra money we had to pay because of the debt was increasing. We wouldn't have been able to solve this issue without your financial assistance.
Why didn't you just sell the things you bought? Did your husband know about this?
I can't return them now, and I haven't told him anything. He's very strict about money and wouldn't forgive me for this.
But he may be the only one who can help you.
No, he won't tolerate this. I need to pay off my debt without him finding out. If he does, he'll get mad. I'm really sorry for tricking you.
You should apologize to your mom and Oliver, not just me. She is upset too. You used your mom to make money. That's really bad.
Sure, I'll apologize to her once she comes home. I know I messed up.
She told me you haven't talked to her for years and never contacted her. Even though you were distant from her, you used her to make money. That's hilarious.
I'll pay you back eventually. Please give me a break. This has been really tough for me.
I want the money back right now, not later.
I can't. I don't have any money. I need at least a year to gather the money.
You want me to wait a year, don't you? Are you joking? I can't trust you. You've cheated on me once, and you may do the same thing again. I'm afraid a year will pass, and I'll never hear from you again. A week later, your mom left our house this morning. She will travel with her friend to Paris for 1 week and then back home. Now that I want to talk with you clearly, I want you to return the money you took from me immediately.
We already talked about this. I can't give it back.
Then sell the stuff you bought. You can get some money from that. You must have a lot of things in your house that you can sell. I don't care what you have to do. Oh, you possess an expensive car, right? Sell it or do whatever it takes. Get the money back to me as soon as possible.
You want me to sell my things? No, I can't. I don't want anyone to use my belongings.
Think of it like you're in trouble with a debt collector. I'm the one you owe money to. You have 1 week to return my money. If you don't have money on hand, you'll have to find ways to get some.
You need to act unreasonably. I'm trying hard, okay? My husband would be furious if I sold his things.
I don't see any problems there. Maybe he should know what you're doing. I've asked your mom to tell him if I don't get the money back soon.
Oh, no! How could you do that? He'll be so angry. I'll get you the money, please.
It's the best way, Christine. He deserves to know the truth. I'm sure he has enough money to help you out of debt. You just need to ask, wouldn't it be better if we just told him everything?
He'll never forgive me. He's very strict about money. I understand, okay? Just give me a little more time. I'll get you the money.
You know you did something wrong, right? Fraud is a serious matter. Don't try to downplay it because we're family. We hardly even talk. You're not much like family.
Don't call it that.
If you do not apologize for what you've done to me and return the money, I'll settle this outside of court. I had your mom represent us. I don't want to cause her too much trouble. And she is willing to do that.
Why would she agree to go against her own daughter?
I wonder, too. You always said she cared a lot about herself. She's a law-abiding citizen. It's too bad you didn't learn that from her. You and your mom are very different.
Are you intentionally insulting me?
I'm not judging your personality. You're the one who broke the law.
I didn't take anything. I just borrowed it for a short time, and I promise I'll return it.
You keep saying that, but you don't seem to feel bad or in a hurry about it. If you give me the money back, we can solve this problem easily. The sooner the better.
Can I have 2 months? I really need that much time.
No. Otherwise, I'll let your mom handle it from here. She'll be tougher on you than I would have, unfortunately.
I don't understand why you're acting like this. I know both of you earn a lot of money. Why do you need it back so soon? Will a couple of $1,000 really make a difference for you?
Having a lot of money doesn't mean I should waste it on you. So you think it's my fault?
I'm not saying it's your fault. I don't understand why we can't leave it at that. Anyways, I apologized and promised to give you the money soon.
Don't you feel any guilt? Once you pay me back, things can go back to normal. If you need money, you could have just told me. We could have found a way to pay it back slowly. You didn't need to make up a story about your sick mom. We were genuinely worried. Being honest with people usually has good results.
I'm scared of my husband finding out. I'm already in trouble with him.
But you can't use that as an excuse for everything.
Don't you have any compassion? Can't you understand my situation?
No. You should be responsible for your issues and admit when you mess up. When you do that, people are kinder to you. By having good relationships built on trust, we are able to handle challenging situations together. After that, I called my mother-in-law right after that talk. I asked her to help me get the money back. She went to Christine's house when she knew her husband would be there. She told him everything. It was a big surprise for her husband. However, he gave us all the money she owed and apologized to us on his wife's behalf. This wasn't the first time she did something like this. He had enough and divorced her not long after. He chose to leave her. He got the full custody of their kids and the house. Christine had nowhere to stay, so she asked her mom for help. However, her mom was still furious about being used in her plans. Their relationship went back to what it was before. No contact. As for me, I don't talk to her either, so I have no idea what she's been doing. Honestly, I don't care.
Hello, Ryder. Isn't it been a long time?
Zane? Hey, what's up? It's been a while, I think. Now that I think about it, we haven't seen each other since college.
Yes, I suppose so. How long has it been? 8 years? So, what's new? Is there anything exciting going on?
Oh, I was just watching Netflix. So, how about you?
That is not what I am asking. I was curious as to what kind of work you've been doing. Just dropping in to see how things are going for you after graduation.
Oh, that's right. I'm a fool. It's not at all exciting. Just like everyone else, I work for a typical old corporation in the city.
Oh, really? What kind of business is it? Don't tell me you're still a new employee making minimum wage.
No, I mean...
I suppose we all start somewhere. But come on, you have no one to blame but yourself. I mean, you didn't even try to obtain a part-time job or anything while college. Of course, with no work experience, you'd have to start with low-paying positions. After all, laziness comes back to bite you. It will not get you a job right away.
My job isn't bad, I mean. To be honest, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. Despite the fact that my position may not have the finest job security, I am loving it for what it is. And moreover, it's all good work experience.
In contrast to you, I'm doing quite well. See, I've been confirmed to begin working for S Industries, one of the branches of that massive multinational behemoth known as the S Group. Everyone has heard of them, I'm sure. Of course, the remuneration is fantastic as well.
How did you end up working for the S Group?
Don't you think it's appropriate for an intellectual and successful man like myself? Look at me, someone this important and amazing, contacting an old acquaintance. Aren't I thoughtful?
Yes, I suppose. How did you even acquire this job?
So, I was called by a corporate representative who happened to be recruiting for new staff.
Oh, wow. They must have been going around recruiting folks. And you were selected?
Sure I did. I'm sorry for drifting away from you, who is making little to nothing at your job. But I swear to achieve for the sake of both of us.
Huh. I still can't believe the S Group was simply recruiting individuals.
It just goes to demonstrate how valuable I am and how much they rely on people like me and their organization. I'm sorry, but I just keep moving up the ladder while you don't. I suppose we aren't all created equal.
So let me ask you a question. Is that all you have to say to me? Or was there another reason you texted me unexpectedly?
Sorry about that. I just wanted to share the fantastic news. Then again, I've told everyone in our old friend group.
Oh, you contacted everyone else.
Sure did. However, it appears that I was the most successful of all of us in the end. Who'd have guessed? I know our small reunion is quickly approaching, so I thought I'd give everyone an update on the man I've become before we meet in person. After all, I don't want them to have a heart attack. Who knows what would happen if any of them found out I was making 10 times what they were?
You're correct. You stated that this company was recruited by the S Group, which is excellent. But do you know who? The top dogs of this branch company are...
What exactly are you talking about? And why should I be concerned? I mean, if they need me to learn about specific corporate executives, I'm sure they'll let me know. During orientation.
Right.
Next month, I'll be a new guy.
So, congrats on getting in. I'll be cheering for you. 2 months later.
Ryder, what's up? Why, after all, are you in the S Group? I happened to see you at work the other day. If you were working at the same company as me, you should have told me sooner. I mean, I saw you working with my boss. What's the deal? Oh, were you getting assistance in figuring out where everything in the firm was? Wait, I thought I heard from my superiors that some new employee was about to join the company or something, but it had to be you. Oh, you cunning devil, I know what you're up to. Is it correct that you were so envious of my life working at this company that you begged the boss to recruit you? Okay, I've got a great idea. While you're here, why don't I become your mentor? Wasn't your workstation just next to mine? What a bizarre coincidence. This will work perfectly. Take a look at this. I heard that the CEO of our parent firm will be visiting the workplace today. So I'll do my best to demonstrate everything I'm capable of, and he'll have no choice but to raise my pay rate. If I'm lucky, I might even find a new job in the company. Yes, I'm confident he'll be impressed. Okay, now that everything's settled, please come over to my desk as soon as possible. And if you simply utter a few simple lines, I'll be your reliable mentor. Saying, please, teach this worthless bottom-tier human how to do a genuine job. That's it.
1 hour later.
What did I say, Ryder? I told you to come to my desk as soon as possible. But take a look at what's transpired. It's been an hour and I haven't seen you once. Check out these messages. You haven't even opened our text messages as far as I can tell. Who do you think I am? I'm the boss. You'd better double-check your work decorum. Do you understand that you must respond to any messages from your superiors immediately? So, no ignoring business. Fine, as your supervisor, I'll locate you this time so you know who's in charge around here. Just sit tight. Do you understand what I mean?
30 minutes later.
Isn't that hilarious? That clap on your back? Didn't I do a fantastic job with you? You probably weren't expecting that look, but I've had a master plan to whack your back with that. Metal ruler. I wish I had videotaped that. So I hope you realize what you've gotten yourself into for ignoring what I instruct you to do. Anyways, Ryder, you understand? You need to quit being so arrogant in front of me. And you best quit ignoring me and get here right away, don't you? You don't want another metal ruler slapped across your spine, do you? I didn't think so. Better yet, since there appears to be nothing up there, perhaps I should smack your head. Maybe I'll slap your butt while I'm at it. Because you plainly are a nasty guy who will not listen to anyone. Ha ha ha.
Zane, let me ask you a simple question. You've been here a month, right?
Yes, I did. You have 1 month more than me. You realize I'm the boss around here. You can either follow my instructions or leave. Which one is it, eh? Learn your place right now.
Back at you. You should have done more research on who your superiors were.
What do you mean? Well, anything. You had better think about all I told you.
Later that night,
Ryder, please explain. What exactly does all of this mean?
Zane, good evening. Is something wrong?
Why is this company's CEO a random paper pusher like yourself? What does that even mean? Isn't there some confusion? This is a ruse you devised to exact revenge on me for the time I smacked you. That is the only explanation. There's no way you could be the new CEO of our company's branch.
Well, Zane, that's the truth. I am the CEO of the branch where you are so proud to work. There isn't anything else to it.
How do you become CEO? After all, you've just recently joined. You scarcely had any professional experience prior to this. How could a nobody with no qualifications be the CEO of such a massive corporation? This is all a joke designed to elicit a reaction from me.
I'm sure you're befuddled with everything. I suppose I'll go through everything just to make sure we're all on the same page. You see, there was something you were lacking from the start. You were aware that I was not looking for work during my college years, but there was a significant reason for this.
Is there a reason?
Well, the aim from the start was to succeed my father as CEO of his company. So, rather than applying for a job that I would stay at for the rest of my life, I went around, bouncing from job to learn more about the workplace. My father wanted me to meet a diverse range of individuals before taking over the company he had dedicated his life to. That's why I didn't have a steady income after college. Then I started working for my father in this company, learning all of the necessary skills from my co-workers. Until a year later, when I was told to succeed my father as CEO. Do you see what's going on now?
You never brought this up in college. So how could I possibly believe anything you say now?
It's because I've been taken advantage of by many around me in the past just by discussing too much about my personal life. Why would I ever discuss something like this? You know, I'm not the sort to brag.
Damn it. I would have approached you earlier if I had known.
Of course you did. That's why I didn't say anything to you about it.
I still can't believe I hit my boss.
That's right. My back was extremely red and puffy afterwards. Aren't you relieved I didn't break a bone?
If you'd just come out and told me you were the CEO, all of this would not have occurred.
There are things you should and shouldn't do whether you're a temporary worker in the organization or a beginner on your first shift ever. And plainly, treating someone as your full inferior and hitting them across the back with a medal. Ruler is not appropriate. Even a child would understand. And yet, it is precisely what you do to me.
Everything was a misunderstanding.
Whatever, what's done is done. And why did you insist on being my mentor? Even if I were a novice, don't you think it's odd that someone with only a month of experience would be looking for others with less experience to teach? Why would you believe the bosses would give someone who has no idea what they're doing a personal assistant? What, after all, was your ultimate goal? To make me your servant?
Well, after all, full-time employees are technically more valuable to the organization than part-timers. And because I knew you, I decided to show you the ropes rather than leave you to fend for yourself.
As the CEO of this company, I can assure you that there are no restrictions in the corporate policies that specify any of that. Indeed, believing that part-time workers are less valuable than full-time workers is plainly a violation of human rights. Furthermore, did you know that persons such as casual workers and part-time employees might earn more per hour based on the work they do?
What's that?
Don't tell me you had no idea.
That was completely obvious to me, without a doubt.
Anyway, take a look. I'll keep you informed when all we have to determine out your penalty when you hit your own CEO. So sit back and reflect on what you've done in the meanwhile. I'll let you know later this week what happens.
Wait! I apologize.
Several days later.
Ryder, we need to talk. Why on earth am I being fired? This is all a terrible joke. Why should I bear the consequences of a simple misunderstanding?
You've approached the wrong person, pal. The entire headquarters made this decision.
But you're the CEO of this company. You have the final say. After all, we're pals. Why are you attempting to defraud me in this manner?
You got in through contacts, correct?
What do you mean?
I heard you were playing all haughty, making it appear as if the corporation had gone out to hire you when in fact you simply have connections in the field.
What's the wrong with that, you say? What difference does it make how I got in?
I'm not arguing that getting into the company through contacts is impossible. I'm delighted to welcome anyone who contributes to the success of our organization.
So, what's the problem?
However, even after a month of working, you don't know the names of your superiors, let alone the bulk of your coworkers. And then you had the arrogance to approach me as if you knew how this institution worked, attempting to hire me as your personal servant.
I told you I didn't know any better. I was simply attempting to assist an old acquaintance.
But it isn't all. You were always trying to talk to Era in the office, weren't you? She told me that was an everyday occurrence.
Why do I need your approval to experience romance?
Era has a fiancé outside of the workplace, as you are aware. She told you that, but you kept saying how it wouldn't work out between the two of them and how it would be better for her to get with you.
Again, why do I need your relationship advice? Please respond to my question.
I'm not sure why you've suddenly become defensive. It was definitely getting to the point of harassment, and you could tell by the vibe in the room that she didn't want anything to do with you.
Why are we even mentioning Era? She is unrelated to you.
Because Era is my closest companion.
What? When did this happen? And what exactly? Is it true that I'm not permitted to approach your friends?
I came in the other day to monitor the workplace because Era had complained about one of the new recruits bothering her. That is where it all started. And after asking her about the situation, they discovered that it was you who had been disturbing her all along. As a result, I discovered that you got into this company through relationships rather than being scouted. Regardless, this was apparent workplace harassment. With Era, you crossed the line. But because you were a college friend, I wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to see everything with my own eyes. But see how that turned out. You just assaulted me in broad daylight.
Oh, no.
But I'm surprised you didn't recognize me as your own CO at first glimpse. You should have done your homework, huh? You would not have lost your job if you had been more careful. These, however, were your deeds. It's time to take charge.
Just a moment. Era arranged everything. She came to you in tears, pleading with you to keep an eye on my actions. I wouldn't have gone through with it if you hadn't informed me earlier how essential you were. For God's sake, it was simply a light-hearted jest from a friend.
I'm not sure if you understand what an arrangement is because you're clearly the only one who is incorrect here. Apart from harassing Era, all of this could have been avoided if you had cared a little more about who worked at your own job. Anyway, I'm resuming the talk for a moment, but you will be dismissed. This is the final conclusion made after examining everything you've done during your time here.
Please reconsider your position.
But wait, I almost forgot about it. I realize it's difficult to bring this up now, but I needed to go to the hospital for a checkup. So I'll be asking you to pay those costs legitimately. But you're going to be all right. I mean, you're a super rich person, right?
What are you talking about? Why should I pay for your hospital bills?
It's called being accountable for all of your acts, right? Anyway, a letter verifying everything will be delivered to your address very soon.
You've got to be kidding me.
I think I can put this whole thing behind me if you pay for the harm you've caused to my firm up front.
So, you're going to extort money from my wallet either way?
As I've said before, all of this could have been avoided with a simple background check, friend. Anyway, when I say I'll obtain money from you legally, I really mean it. So, expect to hear from my attorney very soon. Please, for the benefit of both of us, consider what you've done and ask yourself who is at fault. Here.
This is not possible. A super exceptional like myself couldn't possibly lose a job like this.
So, it's time to notify all of our other buddies, eh? After that, obviously, Zane was fired for all of the problems he caused his coworkers, including myself. He attempted everything he could to contact his contacts within the organization, but after assaulting the CEO of all people, he had little hope of getting back in. According to what I learned, this is how it always goes, with Zane feeling a touch too dominant at work and treating the people around him as inferiors, ultimately leading to his impending doom of being dismissed for going too far. As I previously stated to him, I had dispatched a lawyer to suit him for the incident in which he assaulted me in public. Unfortunately, without a full-time job to provide a stable income, Zane had little choice but to beg his parents to lend him the money to pay off my hospital bills. Not to mention the fact that the only work he could ever get after that was at a factory where one of his pals worked, where he would spend the rest of his days working himself to death. He is gradually returning the funds to his parents, but at one time he messaged me, pleading with me to forgive him and waive the cost. But, as usual, I ignored the message and went about my business.